Hello, my furniture friends. Katie here from Salvaged by K. Scott. I just got back from a trip to one of my favorite secondhand furniture shops with this cedar chest that I grabbed for just $25. It's actually in really good condition, so knock on wood. This should be a really quick and easy flip project. It is missing its escutcheon plate off of the keyhole here in the front, but I think I have something in my collection of random furniture parts to help with that. My main issue with it is I just don't like the orange color that it is. So my plan is to strip off the finish that's on here, restain it in more of a modern wood tone, reseal it, and get this thing back on the market. I've never actually seen a cedar chest that is completely built out of solid cedar planks before. Usually the box of these is constructed with other types of wood and just the inside is lined with a thin cedar veneer, but this whole thing is built with gorgeous, thick planks. I think the outside is sealed with a tung or linseed oil finish, and the inside is all bare wood so that the natural oils in the cedar can emit their fresh woodsy aroma, which also happens to naturally prevent mold, mildew, and all the musty odors that come along with those, and also repels pests like moths or silverfish that can damage fabrics. For $25, this is an incredible piece of solid heirloom furniture that has lasted and will continue to last for generations, as long as it's cared for every once in a while. It's got a few minor scratches here and there, but the style and the shape of it are really classic and traditional. And I think because it's completely finished all the way around, it could really easily serve as a storage chest, a toy box, a bench, or even a coffee table. It did come with what I assume is its original key, but it's broken, which I'm actually really glad to see. Someone has taken all of the working bits out of the lock so no one can accidentally get trapped inside this thing. The standard red cedar chest company, which this is stamped inside, was actually the predecessor to the super popular Lane brand. But the locks on Lane cedar chests were actually recalled in 1996 and then again in 2000 because the automatically latching lids are a huge safety hazard. I'm going to start with a clean because this thing is dusty and I can only assume that it's got decades of furniture polish residue clinging to it, which can really wreak havoc on a new finish, either absorbing or adhering properly if it's not removed first. Simple Green is a heavy-duty degreaser that does a great job at quickly cutting through that stuff. So I just spray some on each surface and then wash and rinse with a microfiber rag and some hot water. Wow, getting some water on there really brought all the marks to the surface. This cleaning time also gives me a chance to get up close and personal with every nook and cranny, and I always end up finding stuff that I just hadn't seen before. I can see down this crack here that these handles are just held on by the two little nails that I can see on the front. No screws or anything. So I might be able to pry those off later to get around them a little bit better and get all that finish off. Let's flip it all the way over. Dusty! She's bougie. She's got a red bottom and a whole bunch of junk wrapped around these castors. Oh, what does that say? Marjorie Scoville, Westmore Filton, Phyllis Beverly Fulton Flagg, Joan Beverly Flagg Williams. Oh my goodness. Okay, Marjorie, Phyllis, and Joan. We're gonna flip over one more time. Ugh. Gently. Looking for an escutcheon plate. Oh, this is the bag that, shoot. This is the bag I thought I would have something in. I ordered this for an antique dresser I did a couple of years ago. and decided to go with a different style of hardware. Knobs and handles, but no escutcheon. Dang. I think I'm gonna have to get on the internet and order one. Oh, okay, I'm gonna go with these pewter or antique brass. 2 for $7.99. Sounds good to me. Delivers tomorrow. Now that the wood's dry, I can start the sanding process. If I was dealing with a thin veneer or anything more delicate or intricate, I might opt for a chemical stripper to get this finish off. But since there really aren't any details to get around, and this is all really thick, solid wood, and it's a softer wood, I think it's gonna be faster and easier for me just to sand this off instead. So dust mask and hearing protection on. I've hooked my orbital sander up to my shop vac and grabbed some 120 grit sandpaper, which cut through this old finish like butter. Like I said, cedar is a softer wood, just like pine, so it marks really easily. And because of that, I made sure to be extra careful to hold the sander with a really nice, even, and light pressure so that it didn't have a chance to dig into the wood and leave me with a bunch of those little sanding swirls. It looks like this one handle got a few extra nails put in it at some point, but I just pulled them through with my side cutters, and then sanding this side was easy peasy. To make it easier for me to get around all the curved edges and these little finger wells on the front, I switched out my flat sandpaper for a medium grit squishy foam abrasive that just molds around this stuff so that nothing gets misshapen or ground down flat. Once I had that first round of strip sanding finished, I needed to go over everything one more time with a slightly finer 180 grit to start refining things and closing down the wood grain again to get it ready for stain. But I didn't have the right grit in my red foam pads, so I popped this hook and loop interface pad onto my sander and then stuck a regular 180 grit sanding disc onto that. It's just a different version of pretty much the same thing. Sanding is done. To clean all the dust off the surface and just get a better look at the finished color of the wood, or the color that it would be if I were to finish it right now, I wiped everything down with some denatured alcohol. Water works too, it just takes longer to dry. I definitely want to kind of tone down the really strong red and oranges in the cedar. Not a ton. I still want it to look like cedar. I just want to pull it back a little bit. So I'm going to do a paint wash with some green. Red and green are opposite on the color wheel, so they kind of cancel each other out. I'm going to mix a little bit of this leftover water-based green paint that I have from another project with a whole bunch of water in a separate container, brush the wash over each surface on the outside of the chest, and then immediately wipe back any excess with a rag. And once that dries, I'll kind of reassess what the color's looking like before I choose my final stain. So this is probably a tablespoon and a half of paint and maybe a cup or a cup and a quarter of water. It doesn't need to be exact though. I really just want the muted green pigment in the paint to soak into the very top layer of wood to neutralize that red. And like I said, this isn't going to be a massive change, just a very slight tone adjustment. And you can do this with any water-based paint. Those little bottles of acrylic paint from the craft store or dollar store work perfectly fine, just as long as it's not like a super strong neon version of the color. I find that the key with a color wash like this is to wipe it back before anything starts to dry. And I always make sure that I'm wiping in the same direction as the wood grain is going, so that if I do get any streaks of pigment, they're kind of camouflaged in the wood grain pattern. This is so light on paint that it's really hard to see any difference while it's wet, but I promise there will be a difference once everything dries back out. Okay, so here is what my green wash, paint wash is looking like fully dry. So you can see it's definitely not green. We haven't turned the chest green. It's just toned back that orange and red slightly, just a little bit. Now I'm gonna add some more traditional stain to this with Varathane's Briar Smoke. I gave my can a really good stir because I find that the pigments in these cans settle down to the bottom over time. And then I'm just using a microfiber staining pad to rub a layer of this right over top of the paint wash. And it's gonna kind of bring the wood back to life. Since this is oil-based, it does take a long time to dry. They recommend waiting at least 8 hours before applying an oil-based top coat and 24 hours plus if you're gonna be using a water-based top coat over it. Because this is a really light color too, I'm not really wiping off the excess stain. I'm just using another corner of the pad to absorb any drippy spots, and then I'll leave this all alone to dry. To reseal this chest and give the wood some fresh protection, I've decided to use some hemp oil, which is a fantastic, completely natural option that will help richen the tones of the cedar without altering its character and maintain the really natural grain and texture of the wood. It's super easy to use too. I'm just using a chip brush to rub a layer of oil onto the wood, and then I'll leave that to start soaking in for about 30 minutes and buff off the excess. Unlike synthetic finishes like polyurethane or lacquers, hemp oil actually soaks down into the wood and slowly hardens as it oxidizes. It really strengthens and conditions the wood too, and provides a really nice, natural, low sheen finish that protects the wood from drying, cracking, and warping over time. It doesn't need any sanding in between coats, but just like tung oil and linseed oil finishes, it can benefit from being reapplied every so often. So I'll make sure to include a little note with this for its new owner with any care and maintenance instructions they might need. Okay, I'm gonna leave that to dry overnight and I'll come back out in the morning and put at least one more coat of the hemp oil on it. And I still have to nail the handles back on the sides, but I like how it's looking. These castors were super handy to wheel this thing around while I was working on it, but I actually think they kind of make the chest look goofy, like it's floating or, I don't know, up on stilts. So I'm gonna pop them out of their sockets so we can ground this thing, and I will pack them up and keep them with the chest along with the key and the care instructions. Look at that, the screw holes even line up. It's my lucky day. Okay, this is where our solid cedar chest started out. Definitely a special piece of history that lots of ladies have taken care of over the years before it ended up at the thrift store, but definitely deserving a little spa time. I really love how it's turned out. It's not a massive earth-shattering before and after, but that was the point. It's just toned down a bit and freshened up so that hopefully a new family can start passing it down from generation to generation. The cedar on the inside is still totally bare so that all of its natural protection qualities can do their thing, and the outside still showcases all of that amazing grain. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I'll catch you all next time.